Hi guys, welcome back. This is now on topic number 11, which will be dealing with tuples. Now Python is the only programming language that offers this kind of data storage called tuple. So that's what we'll be discussing right now. So tuple share almost the same DNA with the list that we just covered previously, and it's very simple as well to manipulate. So let's just start and deal with the tuple. So I'm going to create a tuple for myself. The only difference it has with a list is that a list is identified by square brackets. A tuple is then identified by the normal brackets that we are used to, but they still share the same content style that we saw previously. So you can have a tuple that have got few items inside, and let's just say days of the weeks. Then we'll have Monday, we'll also have Friday here, let's put Sunday here. There we go. So you can have a tuple that looks in this manner, and once we print it out, just to review the results, we can print the variable my tuple, and it should give us the desired results that we're looking for. So there is our tuple that contains the content that we're speaking about. Also, on our tuple, it does allow us to duplicate values as well, as you saw on the other one when we're dealing with list. So I can have another item here called Friday, and my tuple will still work with that Friday, although Friday is repeating, right? And it's not only a tuple of strings that you can have. So I can have my tuple 2, meaning let's change this one to be number 1. So we'll have my tuple 2, which can contain numbers as well. So we can have 6, 3, 9, things like that, 0, -4, and this will still be called a tuple, right? Let's just make some few changes here to say we're calling tuple 1, and we want to now see my tuple 2. Basically, that's what you get, right? So that is the small introduction on tuple. The other thing you must realize is that, as I said, because they share the same DNA, we are able to go and find the length of each tuple. So let's go and find the length of the first tuple. So to find the length, you write the function length, which is len, and then you place the tuple that you are trying to identify the length for. So for the first one, since we only have 4 items, the length will be 4. And then for the second one, let's go and review the length of the second tuple. Then the second one is 5, right? And just remember, the first one is we're counting item by item inside. Also on the second one, we are counting item by item, which is found inside. Nothing has been ordered already. Everything is still the same. So when we are dealing with the tuple, we must remember that since it shares the same DNA with a list, we should not forget to exchange the brackets, right? So the bracket should be the main difference that we see, that this is a tuple, this is a list, because most of the functionality are exactly the same. So unlike a list, a tuple, when you're creating one item, let me just show you now. Let's say we create a tuple number 3. So let's say my tuple and this one will be 3, the third one, and we want to desire to have only a single item inside. So if I put a single item and say this tuple will contain letters as we saw the other time, and I say A, right, and then I'm going now to say show me that tuple I just created, my tuple number 3. That other tuple that we just created is not recognized as a tuple. As you can see, it's regarded as a variable which is containing the string A. Reason being, it does not contain a comma, right? So if it's a single value, for it to be recognized as a tuple, you must put a comma afterwards and not put anything. Then it will be recognized as a tuple. Now we know it's a tuple because of the bracket. So it's just different from a list like that, because if this was let's just say my list 1, so if this was my list, I could easily go and say this list only contains one item, which is the letter A, and I can easily go and say show me my list which contains only the variable A. You will see the list does come already with brackets, but then if I don't include this comma on tuple, just check the difference that take effect there is that the first one, which is my tuple 3, gets to be regarded as a string, right, which is so wrong. Then it's not regarded as a what, as a tuple. It's very important for us to notice that even if you have one item, you need to put a comma after it to show that you are dealing with a tuple. Okay, so let me remove this list. So with tuples, it is also important for us to notice that we can have tuples that also contain different kind of data, right? Not only one kind of data can be found inside. You can have a tuple that contains Boolean as well. So let me say my tuple 4, and this one will just contain Boolean values. So we'll just say true, comma true, false, comma false, right? So we could have any different kind of tuple. We can have my tuple 5, which contains float variables. So we could be having something like 2.2, comma 4. What, you know, something like that, comma, like all different kind of tuple can be included within our all data types can be included within our tuple, right? Very important to note that. But not only that, you can also have a tuple which is a very special tuple as well. That's where Python gets to be very powerful, because unlike any other programming language, it does allow you to store different kind of data in one variable. That one variable name can contain a string, can contain a number, without you having to mention that this is what and what. So we'll create my tuple number 6 here, and this one will contain different kind of variables. So you can have it contain a Boolean, you can have it contain decimal number, you can have it contain a string, Monday, you can have it contain a number, say 8, anything else you can put there, right? And this will still be a valid tuple. You will see when we say show us tuple number 6, it does show us that this tuple contains different kind of data, and it does work, right? The other thing you might want to figure out is the kind of data which is or if ever a certain thing is a tuple. Let's say you want to find out if something is a tuple or not, right? So we'll test with tuple number 3, which was just variable A, and maybe the other tuple, let's call it not tuple. As I said, if you only put the value A inside without a comma, it does not become a tuple. So if I go and say show me the type of data which is show me if ever something is a tuple. So I'm trying to find out if something is a tuple. I'll first try with my tuple number 3, which is this one, which has got a comma afterwards. So if it is a tuple, it will tell me it's coming from a class tuple, right? Very correct. Now let's look for the other one. Print the type for not a tuple. Let's see what we'll get on this one. So you will see this one is no longer regarded as a tuple because it does not have a comma afterwards to show that this is a tuple, right? Very important for us to notice that. And the same way we did the construction of when we're dealing with constructed later on, the same way we deal with list constructors is the same way we're going to treat tuple constructors. So this is basically how that constructor will look like. Let's create a new tuple. I'm going to start from fresh. So you must first have the name of the tuple, what you want to call it. So I can call it constructed tuple. So if it's a constructed tuple, what do? We start by typing the word tuple, and then from there, tuple has got one P, remember that. So constructed tuple, and then from there you put double brackets, right? Inside here, that's where you're gonna put the values for a tuple, right? So the same way you've been creating a tuple, you can create those values here. So there we go. You have your Sunday here, and then you have your Monday, and then here's your Friday. So you can go verify that indeed this is a tuple by revealing the results of this constructed tuple. It should show you those tuples in a bracket. So that is another way we are able to create a tuple. Okay, so we will see each other on the next lesson. We were speaking about access and update and unpicking the tuple itself. Thank you for attending this session.